All right, we are back here with Blaine Conzatti, Idaho Family Policy Center, and Blaine. The worldview that your organization operates from is one that is shared by a lot of folks in Idaho, and especially and across the country. There seems to be an there seems to be from the sort of the mainstream media, and we heard it a couple days ago over the weekend, I think, where someone on MSNBC said that this notion that your rights come from God that's an extremist perspective, or these are people that are extremists that think these kinds of things, and maybe that's been said over over millennia about folks that believe in something higher, but with that comes this notion that Christians want to involve themselves in government in order to install their moral authority and to rule by dictate, and to just be this tyrant that rules over and tells and gets into everybody's lives. And one, that tells me that a lot of these people don't understand what Christianity really is all about, and what being a believer is all about. But what can you say about being involved in the process as a Christian? What is your organization? What do you take this worldview? How do you approach this?
Yeah. Christian political and cultural engagement is all about loving God and loving your neighbor as yourself. You have to remember that was Jesus's instructions to his disciples. The greatest commandment is to love God. The second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. And through cultural and political engagement, we're able to do that. We're able to advocate for the things that God wants, the things that please God, the way that God designed the world, and the ways that God has provided for human flourishing and liberty to take place and operate. And we're also able to advocate for policies that are for the common good, for the benefit of society, for the benefit of individuals. And so when we advocate for biblically sound public policy, which I think is an expectation of Christians, we're loving God, we're loving our neighbor, we're being salt and light as Jesus commanded us. We are occupying the world until Jesus returns as he commanded us. And we're fulfilling the Great Commission, which tells us to go and teach the nations all the things that God has commanded. And teaching the nations all things that God has commanded relates to every aspect of life, right? The Bible tells us, gives us God's plan for every area of life, whether it's government, family, church, economics, education, art, and science, right? And so all of Christ for all of life, all of the Bible for all of life. And it's our job as Christians to see the world better reflect God's good design.
Yeah, and I'm noticing a pattern here as well, and maybe you can speak to this, that a lot of the legislation that you guys get behind and a lot of things that you do is to protect children. And it's whether they're unborn children, whether they're small children, or whether they're children going through puberty and crazy adolescence, and really trying to help preserve the traditional family. And I'm reminded that that Jesus himself had very particular words when it came to those who would corrupt children or harm children. Is there an underlying theme there for you guys as well when it comes to protecting children?
Absolutely. So the Bible tells us in the book of Psalms to defend the defenseless, to defend the vulnerable, to advocate their cause. And children in our society are among the most vulnerable. Preborn children in the womb are certainly the most vulnerable because they can't speak up for themselves. But children need protection. They need protection. And the family specifically is the most foundational building block of society. And so protecting children, protecting the family, helping to ensure that we have a healthy society that people can, again, flourish and experience all the good blessings of liberty. That is an essential part of the Christian vision for society broadly.
Yeah. Well, Blaine, I appreciate this. This has been a good discussion. I know there's a lot of folks out there that really appreciate the work that you guys are doing, and I think it's just really important to kind of set the record straight here that the impetus behind the work that you do, the work that a lot of our legislators do, who share a similar worldview, is out of this place of compassion and loving the world, and if that means lower taxes and being able to keep more of the hard work that you've earned, and protecting your children, and not lying, and not being compelled to lie, and all this stuff, it all it stems downstream from all of this worldview here, and I think it's really important. So, all right, what's your big call to action right now? What can people help you do?
Yeah, so our big call to action right now is a petition that we have been circulating, asking the state legislature and the governor to take care of the library issue once and for all, to pass real policy that gives parents real tools to hold schools and libraries accountable. So go on our website and fill out that petition. That would be the most helpful thing. We also just released an action alert, Matt, on a federal issue that we are asking the U.S. congressmen from Idaho, the congressional delegation, to sign on as co-sponsors to a bill that stops the Biden administration from targeting peaceful pro-life prayer warriors, so people who are praying and singing hymns in front of abortion clinics, because right now the Biden Department of Justice is targeting those Christians and other pro-life activists who are peacefully demonstrating in front of abortion clinics, sharing the gospel. They're throwing them in jail, sometimes as long as 10 or 15-year prison sentences. And so the Biden administration has really overstepped on this one, and we need Fulcher and Simpson and Risch and Crapo to step in and support legislation that will rein in the Biden administration when it comes to targeting pro-life activists.
Well, good for you. Very good. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, idahofamily.org is the website. We just had it up there. And I thank you again, Blaine, for coming on. We're going to check back in with you. It's always great to see you.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Take care. All right, folks. The House has adjourned. The Senate has adjourned. And we are going to take a quick break and get into some other business here. We'll be right back.
Spending this money surplus, which is not a surplus, it's an overcharging of the taxpayers.